Okay, good morning. Welcome to this Open University politics debate on after Berlusconi. You're very welcome. Nice to see so many people, many Italians coming. We're looking forward to a very engaging debate. First of all, I'd like to say, introduce you to this building really, which is one of the Birmingham's most architecturally pleasing buildings. Set up, I think, in the 1850s, and Charles Dickens is one of its earliest supporters. So do enjoy the building while you're here. This meeting has been organised by the Politics Department of the Open University, and it's been supported here in the West Midlands, Open University in the West Midlands. Incidentally, today in the office in Birmingham we're having what we call a stressed down day. Okay, so I don't want to curb any enthusiastic debates, but we'll look forward to convivial and relaxing discussion. Also, we've been supported by a range of other organisations, many of which are here. Open Democracy, David Hayes, the editor, is here with us today. Bulletin of Italian Politics, Soundings, Vision. Francesco on my right is from Vision. I'll introduce him in a minute. And the Department of Italian Studies at Birmingham University has also been very supportive. So it's got a wide range of support. It's quite a timely meeting, I think, because certainly in the foreign press, Berlusconi is getting a lot of attention, particularly in the British press, actually. And the question that editors always ask their Rome correspondents is why is he continuing to rule? 3 times he keeps being re-elected. Where is the opposition? And those are the kind of questions we're going to look at today. Before I introduce Francesco, who's going to talk about what he sees as a possible earthquake affecting Italian politics, we're not expecting any fires, but if there are, the main exit is on the first floor, the main door. We're not expecting any fire drill. So if an alarm does go off, then we need to make an exit. Okay, I'm not expecting. Okay, let me introduce you to the speakers. Yeah, can you just check your mobiles turned off, please? This meeting, I should say, is going to be recorded, partly for Vision, Francesco's think tank, also for the Open University and for various other possible uses of the meeting, so that we preserve the debate. The other thing I want to say is that this is a discussion that we want to continue after today. It's been it's been a bit of a lead up to the discussion. We're issuing 10 questions to the official opposition, which is going to be published in the Italian press on Open Democracy next week. So there is going to be a debate that continues, and partly for that reason this meeting is going to be recorded. Now, I'd like to introduce you to speakers on a round table, and this morning's session will focus on Berlusconi and his recent I hesitate to use the word crisis. I think I used the term crisis in my original correspondence, and people have pointed out to me he's 14 points ahead of the opinion polls. Crisis, what crisis? So, in any case, we'll talk about what we often regard as the scandal surrounding Berlusconi and the possible outcomes, the options and the different scenarios. And this afternoon we're going to look in particular at the opposition, the situation of the Italian opposition. On my right, Francesco Grillo is Director of Vision, Italian think tank based here in London as well. They're currently doing projects on the politics and economics of happiness, the future of universities, and Francesco has written for most Italian newspapers. Daniele Albertazzi is Senior Lecturer in European Media at Birmingham University. He's written on communication strategies, styles of propaganda and mass media relationship with political parties, so an expert therefore on the politics of Berlusconi. He's also written on right-wing populism in Italy and recently on left-wing movements. He's one of the editors of Resisting the Tide, Cultures of Opposition in the Berlusconi Years. Paolo Spivacchi is the Research Director at Chatham House, whose mission is to be a world-leading source of independent analysis, informed debate and influential ideas on how to build a prosperous and secure world for all. It's also the originator of something called the Chatham House Rule, which is to encourage freedom of information and open discussion, and we'll hope for more of that. Her research interests in global economic governance and the international monetary system. Bill Emmett, on the end of the platform, is the former editor of The Economist, and many of you will remember the edition he edited before the 2001 election unfit to govern, with a picture of the Italian Prime Minister on the front. The Italian Prime Minister responded by comparing him to Lenin. I'd like to say Bill is much more better looking and subsequently The Economist was termed a communist magazine, which surprised many of us on the left in Britain. But he's currently writing a book on the problems facing Italy's attempts to reform, so we'll look forward to hearing from him. Now, Jim Newell is on his way. He just rung me from, I think, a Birmingham traffic jam, and I'll introduce him when he comes. He's Professor of Politics at Salford University. So these are our panellists. I'm going to ask Francesco to start. He's got quite an interesting proposition he's going to tell you about, but of the political earthquake that is likely to hit Italy if Berlusconi was to leave office.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jeff. I must say that when I came here, I thought I was likely to be the less anti-Berlusconi of the meeting, but it seems to me that in fact this is not entirely true. Also because the objective of the meeting, I suppose, which is mostly about the second session, is about this time hit the opposition. Which opposition, by the way? Because the first question is who is the opposition? But with 10 questions that similarly to the 10 questions that were asked to Berlusconi, that became the tormentone of the Italian media last summer, will challenge the opposition. So, in any case, I will try to say things which are also sort of, as Jeff was asking, provocative and not entirely obvious when somebody talks about Italy and about Berlusconi. Basically, what I propose to Jeff is that the prospects of Italian politics and the after Berlusconi, quote unquote, after Berlusconi question can be articulated in four distinct questions that we want to try to discuss to answer a little bit more difficult. The first question is it a good thing that there is an after Berlusconi and then therefore that he quits? Obviously you have the answer may be quite obvious, but I try to elaborate on that. The second question is, which is sort of linked to the first, what would immediately happen to Italian politics if Berlusconi abandons the